Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people. He'll never extinguish their love of freedom, and he will never weaken the resolve of the free world.
So, how about that situation in Ukraine, huh? That's interesting. Welcome back to the channel. This is Anna's Thoughts and Musical Parodies, and I am Anna, your hostess. Thank you so much for being here today. By the way, if you've been liking what you see here, don't forget to stop over at my other backup channel, Anna Speaks Out, and get subscribed there as well. Everything will continue on there if this channel ever goes away. So here are my initial sort of brainstorming spitball thoughts as recorded on Sunday, February 27th, and today it is Wednesday, March 2nd. I'm assuming there is some bad stuff happening to the civilians. I feel bad about that. That is sad. It's kind of sobering to me because I was kind of just seeing it as, you know, sad for the innocent people there, but like something that didn't matter that much to us. And you know, we may need to actually take a lesson from the Ukrainians here in the U.S. because our pastor today was actually talking about how there's some people there who are family members of a church member who is from Ukraine, and they would rather stay and basically, you know, just stick it out to the death in their homeland rather than flee and be, you know, separated from their family and whatever. I guess there's a lot of people signing up for the military there, and they're just willing to stand up for their, you know, their lives and their homeland and everything. And we could be a little more serious about that here a lot of the time. With all the tyranny that's happening here, it's not as bad as other places yet, probably because we have the First Amendment, but it could, you know, it seems like it's headed that way. Just an interesting situation because there's so much fake news that has come out about stuff happening in Ukraine that's been proven false, like that it's from a movie that came out a few years ago or something like that. So it's hard to even know what to believe, you know, or even more than usual maybe. But it's like, if there probably are some kind of bombs going off and stuff, because what I've heard is allegedly Putin is trying to destroy biolabs in Ukraine that I think the U.S. might have some involvement with. I know the Biden family has had a lot of dealings with Ukraine. That's just a fact. You know, the whole Burisma thing and everything. I've also heard that there's Ukrainian and Russian soldiers, like, who are comrades with each other. So I just don't know what to believe, but I do feel bad for any innocent civilians being hurt by this, for sure. And speaking of civilians, I found this today from Time Associated Press, which they reported to be Russian civilians protesting against the war against Ukraine.
Разойдись, дорогу!
Нет, еще, они еще не дошли до него.
Полиция, хватит
Между нами снова.
And, you know, that seems quite plausible, of course, but I just find it interesting that, you know, anybody who doesn't speak Russian has no idea what they're saying or what their signs say. And with all the disinformation that has come out, it just makes me wonder if that's really what it was. especially since there have been protests all over the world lately about something else. But, you know, given what's happening between Russia and Ukraine, it does seem plausible for sure, of course. But, you know, it just makes me wonder. Because I would kind of think that there would be somebody interpreting what they're saying, you know, somebody who is bilingual with Russian and English. So, yeah. Having just listened to it again for like the 5th or 6th time, it does actually sound like they're saying something about Kiev when they're doing the chanting near the beginning and stuff. If anybody speaks Russian, please let me know what is going on there. And now let's recap all of the fake news that has been coming out about this whole situation, shall we? I found this on Instagram recently that says this image is circulating, being claimed it's a Russian plane that got taken out by Ukraine. It's actually a photo from an RAF air show that happened in 1993 in the UK. The plane caught fire. Look it up. So I did look it up. And I found it pretty quickly, actually, through Google. Sequence of 2 MiG-29s collision at 1993 Fairford Air Show. The pair were performing aerobatics when one of the pilots misjudged the distance and collided with the other. The wing clipped the other MiG-29 fuselage just behind the cockpit. Lucky pilot. All this happened at very low altitude, perhaps 1,000 feet over ground. And here's the photo, it appears, that has been circulating. It says, see the pilot ejecting, rocket motor of the K-360 ejection fired. This can be found on a website called theaviationgeekclub.com. But even USA Today is saying that this was a falsely appropriated photograph that was actually posted by a Kiev Post and a reporter at the Kiev Independent. Another example is this image being shared with the caption, Ukrainian soldiers leaving their loved ones to fight for their country. Absolutely heartbreaking. Shared by somebody on Twitter, I think many people on Twitter. And this turns out to actually be from a documentary called The War of Chimera, which came out not even that long ago in 2017. And people still believe this stuff. And here is something that is apparently real, but not in the way that it was said to be. Somebody named Nicola Pera posted this just the other day on Instagram with the caption, a Ukrainian father saying goodbye to his family. I have no words. However, a journalist named Sergei, if I am reading that name correctly, and who is apparently associated with the International Federation of Journalists, said that father is from Gorlovka Donetsk People's Republic, heading off to fight Ukrainian forces, which have shelled his city and region for 8 years. It was shared by Gorlovka's mayor, Ivan Prihodko. So it was represented as the opposite of what it actually is, apparently. Seems like there's a real push to have everybody have a pro-Ukraine stance, so that's interesting. And lastly, this Twitter account simply called Ukraine posted this video of the so-called Ghost of Kiev, saying, this UAF ace dominates the skies over our capital and country, and has already become a nightmare for invading Russian aircrafts. Let's check it out.
Доброго вечора, ми з України.
I gotta say, I do enjoy the music. Reuters is saying that this was an animation that was miscaptioned as if to show video of Ukrainian fighter jets shooting down Russian plane. And apparently the Ukrainian military said on February 24th that 5 Russian planes and a Russian helicopter were shot down in the Luhansk region. It has not been confirmed that a single Ukrainian pilot shot down the aircrafts, however. So people are just funny. And here we see there's a YouTube channel named Comrade Korb with a video entitled Ghost of Kiev Kill, Dogfight Between Ukrainian MiG-29 and Russian Su-27 Simulated in DCS World. So it's looking like this was all just a simulation. Whether that was a simulation of real events or the so-called real events were all just a simulation, the moral of the story at the end of the day is don't believe everything that you read or see on the internet. And seriously take everything with a large grain of salt. Think for yourself and come to your own conclusions with everything in life would be my advice. There have been more stories that came out and were apparently proven false about this whole situation that I didn't even show here because I didn't want the video to get too long. But yeah, this is just a sampling. So be careful out there.
Thank you again so much for being here today. Since you liked the video enough to make it all the way to the end, don't forget to click the thumbs up and share with somebody else who would also find it interesting. Leave your comments below and we'll all have a conversation. And if you really liked it, check out the description for several different ways that you can support. Have a wonderful